Welcome to the crossover, thanks to the Sydney Kings. Grab your Sydney Kings tickets today at Ticketek.
Yes, Thursday afternoons we do this for half an hour. Special guest comes into the studio from the Sydney Kings. Today, it is our pleasure to welcome to you, Sydney, which I think you sort of know him already. He's been here for a couple of months. It feels like 7 years. That's a direct quote from the new coach of the Sydney Kings, Mahmoud Abdelfattah. Welcome.
Thank you, my friend.
All right. You're going to have to get right up to that microphone. How's that? And then we're going to have to turn it on. And after that, I'm sure it'll be fine. Have a go.
Hello?
Yes. There we go. There we go. Hey, welcome. We just heard that, back-to-back championships, and now you're looking to do it for the third time. How's the expectation in old Sydney town?
One day at a time, my friend. It's been good. It's been good. It's been a great 2 months of preparation, and time goes by quick. We're getting ready for our first game, and before you know it, the season will be over. But just one game at a time.
First thoughts on Sydney?
It's phenomenal. It's safe. It's clean. It's a great place to live.
Okay. First thoughts on the NBL? You've had a few games with the Blitz. You're getting a bit more accustomed with it now. What's your take on this league?
Competitive.
Yeah.
Physical. It's honestly a great league, and I've said it a few times before, and I think I'll say it a few more. I can understand why next stars come over here to play,
right?
Instead of going the college route, just because whether they have success here or not, I think it speeds up their development just playing against pros that have been around for 10, 12 years, former NBA players.
Yep.
So I can see why the Next Star program is growing, and it's going to be a benefit to everyone in it.
Lots of turnover. Your owner, Paul Smith, describes this as an intersectional league. So there's people coming and going for all different reasons. So Chase Buford, a couple of wins, and then he's away. And so you come into that. But there's a huge turnover of squad too. Some familiar faces coming back. Is that a positive almost, Mahmoud? Because you can then bring your own imprint to that, to a new group of players?
Yeah, for sure, 100%. We're going to have a new starting five than they had last year. The coaching staff as well, with Litch leaving. We got some new additions to the coaching staff. Every year has its own chapter, own book, whatever you'd like to say. So it's gonna be exciting to be the head coach here, to have the staff that I do, and to have the three imports as well, and JA being back from 2 years ago. So I'm just looking forward to seeing what we write this year in 23-24.
What about you talk about Jay coming back, league MVP, outstanding here, and it was almost like he felt drawn back to. We spoke to him a couple of weeks ago, a very laid-back character too, by the way, but felt drawn back to Sydney. So what's it like having him slot back into the squad?
I mean, it's great. I mean, he's taught me a ton, obviously,
right.
And figuring out what it takes to be successful in this league, to win a championship and win an MVP. I mean, that's a lot. And I think, him coming back here, he's done a great job of not only leading just with his actions on the court, but also talking to the younger guys of Jalen Galloway, Alex Tui, and just helping them mentor and understand what he's learned from 2 years ago, bounce around last year and just being back. So he's been great for our guys, and I'm thankful to have him around.
Houston Rockets is where you were previously. Give us an insight into the NBA. We see it from a distance here. We see Australian players go over there, and we're really, really proud of them. And we've got a great history with players going back to Luke Longley with the Chicago Bulls. But give us a scoop about what it's like in the NBA.
Unpredictable,
right?
To be honest, obviously you see with the Damian Lillard trade, happening. Everyone thought he was going to Miami a couple of weeks ago. Then Toronto. I don't think anybody was even talking about Milwaukee.
No.
It was Miami, Chicago, Toronto. And then before you know it, it happens just like that. It's competitive. But, I was talking to Denzel about it with the 28-game season here compared to the 82 games.
Yes.
You will not see guys, defensively picking up full court with the pressure that they're going to apply. Every possession, every game matters. Here, in comparison to the NBA, where you lose one, you lose two, it's all right because you can still get it back because the amount of games that are being played. So every possession matters from the jump ball from the first quarter till the fourth. it feels like the game is on the line.
Yeah, and that's right. That means that everything matters. Is that? I know that there's been a few things that the NBA have done. They've got the middle of the season tournament that they've done, which was to keep more major stars engaged. And there's, because of the length of the season, there are stars that are sitting out time. Is that some way that the league can do to make those changes to keep those superstars more invested in it across the regular season?
Yeah, definitely. It's, me being so young and being from Chicago, I'm glad that Luke won a couple NBA championships for my hometown, but it just feels like it's just different. I mean, when guys would miss 1 or 2 games, even in the early 2000s, it would be something just out of the norm. But if guys play 70 games now, that's out of the norm. So guys are expected to play 60, 65 games. And Jimmy, just being in the G League, that was, where they tried the midseason tournament out. They've tried it for the last 4 years. I think it started in 2019, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So all the G League teams would go to Las Vegas for the G League showcase. And more recently, the top 8 teams would play for $100,000, or $100,000, and every rostered player would get $10,000. Would be their piece. So everything that they do in the NBA, from the challenges, the rule changes, the midseason tournament, was tried in the G League previously. For a number of years.
Okay.
I think it's great. I think it's great that the NBA did it. I think Adam Silver's doing a great job. Just, trying to expand the league, trying to get more viewers. But I think the midseason tournament would be great for the players and the fans.
Okay. Who is Houston's arch rival? Because when you come to Sydney, beautiful city, nice and clean, very safe, a lot of people don't like Sydney. I think they're a little brash. I think the owner, Paul Smith, has a lot to do with that, because he tends to slag off every other team. But who is Houston's arch rival, and who do you get a sense is the team that everyone wants you to beat here in the NBL?
So I would say Houston's arch rival, since I've been around, it's definitely the Golden State Warriors.
Right.
Because they were the team that we felt that we had to get by.
Yes.
When, we had James, CP, Russ. So I would definitely say Golden State was that team.
Right.
Here in the NBL, I hear a number of different teams. I know how important it is to get the Illawarra one.
Yes. Yes.
They're right down the road. It's like the Subway Series.
Yes.
I believe this is the Freeway Series, if I'm not mistaken.
Well done.
So I would say them, but with it being there, it's a 10-team league. I think every team's a rival.
Yeah. I
mean, you don't only play one team once, like in the NFL and in the NBA, you'll play each team twice. You may play a home and away. But here, it's, at the end of the day, it's only 28 games. So if you play them twice, 3 times, every game matters. But I would say Illawarra.
Okay, yeah, Illawarra. I think that's the correct answer. Yeah, that's the correct answer. Hey, I'm looking at the squad for this year. DJ Hoge, Angus Glover's been there, won championships. Alex Tui's a really interesting one, young guy coming in and said no to big colleges over in the US. Denzel Valentine, you mentioned, with huge NBA experience. Do you look at, is there anyone in particular that's standing out? Is there someone showing you something beyond your expectations?
You'll have to wait and see, my friend.
Okay.
No, honestly, everyone's put forth their work, but honestly, Alex Tui.
Yes.
Obviously, you knew how talented he was, and for me, I've never seen him in person.
Right.
Until him stepping on the floor in Hoops Capital in Auburn. I've never seen him in person. I've watched film.
Right.
But it's different when you watch somebody in person, and just the strides that he takes, his routine, his demeanor,
right,
his work ethic. I think a lot of people will really be surprised with the steps that he's taken and going to take this season. Everybody else is obviously, I'm not shortchanging anybody else on the roster.
Sure.
But he's just one. Everyone's talking about the Next Star program like we previously spoken about. And I think they'll really be surprised just with the strides that he's taken over the last 2 months and where he'll be at the end of the season.
Are athletes? Athletes in the NBA are similar to the athletes in the NBL. There might be a skill level difference. There might be a physicality difference. But athletes are athletes, in particular with their mentality.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. I was actually talking with NBA scout about this. It's just in comparison to, because I said Alex Tui's a great athlete. Yes. And he said he's a different type of athlete in comparison to, the guys that can jump out the gym with the 45-inch verticals. He's a great athlete vertically, but he just understands where to be and when to be at the right times.
Yes.
So it makes him seem more athletic just because he's always in the right spot at the right time. I'm like, that's a very good way, to put it.
Yeah.
Because we were speaking about him and other athletes in regards to the NBL. But, yeah, I mean, athletes are athletes in their different version.
Is that coachable or is that innate, what you've just described what Alex can do?
Yeah, I definitely think it's coachable.
Wow.
Some guys have, obviously, the vertically and, you can touch the top of the backboard.
Yeah.
That's God-given. But helping guys understand where to be at the right time.
Yep.
Because you can overwork yourself, going 75% for 5-6 straight possessions. It's like, hey, sprint back in transition, get to your spot, and you can just wait there. You can evaluate. Instead of jogging back in transition, now I'm late getting to the rotations. Now I'm late getting to the ball screen coverage. If you just sprint back initially, you see everything in front, you can communicate, see what's happening. You can save yourself some energy. So that's where coaching guys, just being in the right spots at the right time on both ends of the floor.
Sydney Kings coach Mahmoud Abdelfattah, our special guest in the studio for the crossover. Grab your Sydney Kings tickets today. They're at Ticketek. You can get $20 tickets or family tickets for $45. But I think the season memberships, they're all gone. There are a couple of game memberships that are still available. So check them out at sydneykings.com. All right, we'll get ourselves to a break and then we're back. What else do we want to know? We want to know the wolf you feed. That has been a bit of a topic this week for us. So I'm going to ask you about that. Break and then back with more. Oh, yeah, welcome back. So what you do here at radio stations, you get sent books all the time, especially if the author, Andrew Webster, is working at this radio station. We're just having a chat with the new coach of the Sydney Kings, Mahmoud Abdelfattah, and we talked about the wolf you feed. So I didn't understand the title of this book until I started reading it, and that is that the wolf you feed comes from an old Cherokee proverb in the fact that there are two battles going on between two wolves. One is evil, anger, envy, jealousy. The other is joy, peace, love, hope. And the young boy asks which wolf wins, and the old Cherokee replies, the wolf you feed. So the first thought I had around that was, first time we spoke to you, Mahmoud, was from Houston, and you radiated positivity. So you must feed the right wolf most of the time, or all the time, right?
100%. That is a great title. But yeah, definitely. I talk about it with our guys truly every day, just about figuring out your routine.
Yes.
What is the routine that you want every day, because it can affect your next day and your outcome in practice, how you're communicating with the staff, how you're communicating, with your family members. It's bigger than basketball.
Yep.
I think the most successful people in the world have the best routines in the world. Yeah. And even people that struggle, and it's not about money, it's not about fame. Some of those people still struggle. That's not what determines success. For me, success is people with the best routines.
Yeah.
And I think the best routines are, just now that I know of this title, is the wolf that you feed.
Yep.
And, it's just making sure that you get your sleep, making sure that you're treating people the right way.
Yes.
And just understanding that things happen for a reason. And I love this title. So good, Mr. Andrew Webster.
Your faith is such a big part of you. You speak about it a lot, very openly and so forth. How have you found Sydney from that point of view with your Muslim faith?
It's been great, honestly. It's honestly maybe taken me to another level,
really,
in the right direction. We have a mosque that's about 7 minutes from our house.
Yep.
The Muslim community is very welcoming. It's been phenomenal. The more and more people that find out at the mosque that I'm the Sydney Kings head coach,
yes,
that I'm not just a guy that they see on Instagram and Twitter, and that I actually come to the same mosque and pray at the same times that they pray.
Yep.
I've actually had more kids and parents come up to me. And I've actually, when we travel, I've actually had a few different people from different mosques in Brisbane and Melbourne that want me to come to their mosque and speak to a couple hundred of their younger youth in their community.
Yeah, wow.
To show that I can, you can do this.
Yeah.
No matter who you are, being Muslim, praying, religion, whatever you want to do. So
sounds like the correct wolf is being fed.
that's the right wolf, baby.
That is the right wolf. Okay, you got the Hawks Saturday night, so we know that's big. After that, Tasmania on the Friday, but this is the first home game against the Adelaide 36ers. Banner Day, 4 o'clock. That one. Expectations around that? That'd be huge, I'd imagine.
Definitely. Hopefully we have a good record going into that
Yes.
home game, but I'm excited about it. Like I said, it's one day at a time. We're going to make sure that we're prepared for Illawarra, and then we're going to make sure that we're prepared for Tasmania, and then looking forward to the home game and the crowd that we're expected to have.
Hurry up and buy your tickets because selling fast. A huge crowd anticipated at Kudos Bank Arena. So get into Ticketek and get them quickly. $20 for adults and $45 for families. It's been a pleasure. That's it. It's gone. That goes quickly.
I appreciate you. Looking forward to seeing everyone on October 8th.
Yeah, nice sell. Mahmoud Abdelfattah is the highly impressive new coach of the Sydney Kings who are looking to do the three-peat. All right, we'll take a break and then we're back to wrap up the program.